I will make a motion to resume our regular meeting.
Second the motion.
Any more discussion on the motion at hand? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And just to let everybody know out there, we're just coming out of executive session. We met with an attorney, and that's the reason we were in executive session. And now, my computer is going haywire. Let me kill this. Now we're resuming our regular session. You may notice and may not notice, Mr. Martin is not here with us tonight. I had an invitation with the governor, lieutenant governor, and the energy secretary to be in Boston at the same date and same time. Mr. Martin is taking that and getting the information for our town because I couldn't be in two places at once, so I could attend the executive session with the attorney here. Just to bring you up to date since the last select board meeting, Patrick Carnival, which is a representative from Governor Baker, has been here. He talked with Chris Martin, Brian Hofschad, and myself about the Route 202 project and supporting us and going back. And also in a meeting since our last select board meeting, we had a meeting with the Energy and Affairs Undersecretary Dan Seiger. And there's a follow-up meeting scheduled, and again, that's to do with the Route 202 water project on how we're going to be working with us to get some grant money to get us that fulfilled. One more announcement, just to let everybody know, I did get a call from Waste Management today because not only do we have the Thursday pickup at my house, we also have another pickup which we pay for. And Waste Management says that all their deliveries will be one day late next week because of Labor Day. And I just wanted to put that out because traditionally I see everything over Facebook and everybody asking, when is Waste Management picking up? So I'm presuming since their regular pickup is being delayed a day, it's going to happen on every other day. Any questions? Okay, then we'll just go on to our regular thing. The first thing we're going to do here, we have a letter to the school department that we talked about before for our signature. The Energy Committee submitted a memo to the Select Board and notifying us that they have not received the data that they've requested for 9 months, and in fact, they could not put in for a grant, which if you recall at the annual town meeting, I mentioned that because we didn't get money, we didn't get data from the school, we couldn't put in for a green community grant. The payback was so much that we're not going to get one this year. We still have been waiting for the information from the school, and I've got emails here, emails and writing dated from as far back as 9 February. Before that, we've had words with them as far as telephone calls, voice, and everything else, and they just haven't replied. And we're getting ready to do the next Green Community Grant, and if we don't get the data from the school, the town is not going to get another Green Community Grant. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. You have to get the data, you have to get the engineering justification, you fill out the application, and then it's a competitive grant. So we're competing with 221 other communities in Massachusetts, which has a total of 351. If people want to know, the grant we got in fiscal year 2018, our payback was 5.69 years. That's why we got the $248,000 and change. When we did it last year without the school, our payback was 15 plus years. Thus, we weren't competitive. That's why we didn't get a Green Community Grant in 2019. And we really need all the information from all the departments so we can put it forward for the 2020 Green Community Grant. And so here is the letter, if you want to read it to the school, saying, please give us the data so we can apply for the grant.
August 28th, 2019, School Committee, Granby Public Schools, 387 East State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. Dear committee members, At the last Select Board meeting, the Town Energy Committee submitted a memo to the board indicating a need for information from the school department. Mr. Joyce has indicated that he has tried to obtain the information from the school, but to no avail. We are attaching the memo for your review and ask that you please forward the requested information as soon as you can. If additional clarification is required by you, please contact Mr. Joyce directly. Okay. I'm not going to read the memo, that's long.
It was read the last.
Yeah, I read it
select
at the
board
last
meeting.
Select Board meeting. Okay.
Yep, sure. It's just plain and simple, if we don't get the data, we can't justify it, we can't put it.
Have we
Any question you want?
I'm trying to phrase it, I can't think. Have we reached out via phone to the member?
Physically, I've talked to the superintendent, physically in her office, when we're doing the energy audits in the building, and we've been doing it for a couple of years. And she says, I can show you the emails. In fact, one of them right here.
I trust you.
Well, one of them right here, she dispatched it to her business agent to give us the information. And one of her emails says, I thought we gave that to them already. And the answer is no, they did not. Here's her email to her business manager. And that was why we had to inform the school that we could not put in for anything for the school on last year's Green Community Grant because he did not give us any data. And she was under the impression that he did. And that was for last year's Green Community Grant. We're getting ready to apply for this year's Green Community Grant, and we still have no data from the school. In addition to LED lights, there's a whole list of energy conservation measures we're looking to do within the school system. We're also looking to do something with air exchangers to decrease the amount of energy and give climate control to each classroom. They haven't given us any of that information yet. And if we're going to do all the plumbing in each classroom, it would save the town a lot of money if we could possibly look into doing an information technology infrastructure upgrade, because all the walls will be cleared and we could run the wires and the pipes for all the classrooms at the same time. And we're just trying to get as much done at the least cost to the Granby taxpayer as possible. But we can't do it without the data, because without the data, we can't justify it. And without the justification, we don't get it.
Are we looking for the information to be sent to the select board or to the Energy Committee?
Either way we get it, it doesn't matter to me. The Energy Committee has been trying to get it and have been unable to get it. That's why they've come through their chain of command, which is the select board, to say, hey, can you help us? We can't get this data.
I just think on the letter, it should have been indicated where we want the information sent. But
It just says to, if they have any questions, to contact me, because I'm the chairman of both boards, committees, so it doesn't make a difference. We'd love to get some more money for the town, but we can't do it.
So it looks like it slipped through the cracks based on this email.
And you can see that it slipped through the cracks since last February.
That's what I'm saying.
And it was prior to that, up to 2 years ago, we've been trying to get air exchangers done in that building, because they wanted boilers. And if you read all that, the boilers are at 83%, it's redundancy. It takes 95.4 years to get payback for a boiler, which the state is not going to pay for.
Okay.
If they just please give us the data, then we can get some engineering documentation, because we already have the energy conservation measures from the energy auditors to put it in. But without that data, see, the school has special requirements. The school was built in 1961. If you go into the average classroom, there's only one light switch. That's one light on, one light's off. Well, the school has requested that the first bank of lights not be put on that way because it interferes with the projectors and things like that. So we need their data to create a customized lighting plan and then justify that customized lighting plan. Otherwise, the state will not do it. And the state only does it once. So we need to do a customized lighting plan so they can put where the single pole switch is, they can put a dual switch in there, one for the first bank of lights and one for the rest of the rooms. They'll all be motion sensor lights. In addition to that, we need to know how many students in each classroom, because with the motion sensor lights, they figure them on approximately 10 to 25 students. That'll make the motion sensors work properly if there's a minimum of 10, max of 25. Now, if you've got less than 10 students in a classroom, we need to know that. Because in addition to that, under the customized plan, we have to add carbon dioxide sensors. So that way they know somebody is living and breathing in that room, and the motion sensor lights won't come on and off because there's not enough movement in the room. This all has to be done. I say it's a complete customized plan. And if we don't do a customized, then if you want to do lights, then we'll just do one. All lights in the room will be on-off motion sensor, and then the school's going to do nothing but complain. We're trying to meet the school's request, their requirements, but we can't do it without the data.
So this was a school request?
This is a school request directly from the superintendent.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying that we
That's
should be
fine.
chasing them down, but the last date of this is June 19th. Have we had any correspondence since that with
Since
them?
June 19th, I would have to say no.
No? Okay.
I mean, we're in August right now.
Right, no, and I understand. I mean, it's not,
And I think if you look at the memo that Glenn has, what's the date of the memo the Energy Committee said it? I think they said it in May. So it's taken a month to get through the select board.
July 25th.
July 25th.
July 25th
Yeah, so here we are, it's taken almost a month to get it from the Energy Committee to the
to the
select.
select board.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and all this is a notification to
Yep.
the school committee to let them know.
Right.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. I didn't know, 'cause it's not like the school to not respond,
I agree.
especially for something that they're looking for.
And we're trying to help them. I mean, we're trying to do 3 things for them.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve and sign the letter as read by Jen Silva.
I'll second Glenn's motion.
Any more discussion on this letter to the school? Hearing no more discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes are unanimous, so we'll sign and move on.
Sign and drive.
Thank you. I can always tell who writes these because Chris always puts my middle initial and Kathy doesn't. Now, I just want to say that we did not put a suspense date on getting this data because we're asking them, we're not ordering them or anything like that. But if we don't get the data within about 30 to 45 days, we won't have time to create a customized plan and then justify the customized plan to get it in the grant in time. And then you wait another year.
Well, there should be some follow-up too with the school committee.
We have no problem. We've been face-to-face phone calls and then finally resorted to emails.
Why don't we just send a quick email to Emery as the chair and say this is...
He's not the chair anymore.
Oh, he's not the chair anymore. I forgot
Mike
about
Simpson
that.
is,
Mike
yeah.
Simpson is.
And I believe I did send one to Mike. And then been in touch with Adam, the business manager, who,
Just let him know what our time frame is, or what your time frame is.
no
That's all.
problem. I have no problem. I'll send an email out tonight, tell him that the letter is on its way and we need the data in no more than 45 days, or we're gonna miss out another year. Okay, that item is done. The school committee is done. Okay.
That's the letter to Mr. Senical. I snipped it in your file.
Yep, okay. If everybody's been watching, we had an issue with the Bittersweet Lane, and it has been resolved between Chris Martin, Dave DeRocher, and the landowner, Thomas Senecal. And if you want to read it, Jen, you tell them what the resolution.
Dear Mr. Senecal, at the last select board meeting, the town administrator, Chris Martin, outlined the proposed solution regarding the structure erected at the end of Bittersweet. The board is in agreement that the solution does address the initial concerns regarding the structure. The board is also glad that the issue could be resolved amicably by all parties involved. If there are any other issues that you may have, please do not hesitate to contact the board. Sincerely.
There you go, Glenn.
And that's basically just in response to my request to have it in writing.
That's correct, but, you know, if it does not in writing, it doesn't exist, just like a lot of other things we've dealt with.
I'd like for this, this isn't time sensitive, but I would like it to date our select board meeting though. It just says at our last select board meeting, it should date the meeting that this was actually discussed.
Put the actual meeting date in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be my recommendation.
It's not, you're right, it's not time
That's fine.
sensitive, it's just
Because depending when you get it, I don't know when the last meeting was.
That's fine.
I get this in 3 weeks, I think it's,
Okay.
so I think it's just state that.
It's not time sensitive, we can
Yeah.
put this on a hold. If you want to vote it, then we'll do as amended the next time, and then we'll get it out just so it's documented as Jen requested.
Bring it back to the board next time, that's all.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all.
Okay. Let me cross that off my list. Okay, the Franklin County. Do you want me to explain this before you read it, or?
Sure.
Okay. What this is every year the town goes out to buy sand and salt for the winter time. We used to get it from the Hampshire Regional Council, but the Hampshire Regional Council no longer exists. So we're moving on to the Franklin Regional Council of Governments to do a joint purchase to save the town money for sand and salt. And this, we have to sign up so they can include us in their bid.
Okay. Franklin Regional Council of Governments, 2 highway superintendents who are part of former HCG bids. Permission to contract on the city-town's behalf. As you are all hopefully all aware, the FRCOG has taken on the Highway Products and Services bidding process formerly executed by the Hampshire Council of Governments, HCG, along with the former HCG Chief Procurement Officer, Ellen Batchelder, as a staff person. Previously, the HCG held contracts like road salt on your behalf. Because the FRCOG will now be executing those contracts, legally we need permission from you to sign the group contract on your behalf. We will open road salt bids on August 27th and will be asking you for your award information by the middle of September so that we can have executed contracts ready to go on October 1. A little later, we will run the liquid chloride mag chloride bids. We will need approval from whoever in your city or town authorized to designate FRCOG to contract on your behalf. This permission form will also cover our street sweeping bid issued next January for March contract and the equipment rental bids if you choose to participate in them. You will never automatically be included in any bid without your express permission. New permission forms will be sent for the summer highway bids for fiscal year 21. Please obtain permission from your select board or mayor and have them sign the attached sheet and return it no later than August 20th, 2019. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Okay, so we understand that our municipality is participating in the Franklin Regional Collective Highway Products and Services bids and contracts effective July 1, 2019. We authorize the Franklin Regional Council of Governments, FRCOG, to contract on our behalf, and we have taken action to duly appoint the FRCOG for the bids listed in the accompanying letter. We acknowledge that FRCOG takes precautions to ensure that any procured vendors or contractors have adequate insurance coverage as required by law. Nevertheless, in the event that any vendor or contractor is deemed to be an employee of our city-town for the purposes of Massachusetts workers' compensation laws as set forth in Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 152, or lapses in their liability coverage, we agree to indemnify and hold harmless FRCOG from any and all claims, liabilities, asset assessments, costs, inclusive of attorney's fees and costs of litigation, penalties, judgments, and awards which may be assessed against us. We agree to abide by MGL Chapter 30B and Chapter 30 and 39 for the purposes of procuring additional highway products and services and will not engage in activity in violation of Massachusetts ethic laws. All financial obligations to vendors and contractors as a result of orders made under this agreement are the full responsibility of our town and not the FRCOG.
There you go, good. Gotta make sure we have the salt and sand.
It's gonna be a bad winter.
Think so?
I think it's gonna be up and down.
I'll make a motion that we sign the Franklin Regional Council on Governments as read by Jen Silva.
I'll second your motion, Glenn.
Is there any more discussion upon this item we're going to sign from Franklin County Governments? Hearing none, but before I say that, I just want to make one clarification. We were scheduled to have a select board meeting on the 19th, but due a oversight, it forgot to get posted, so we couldn't do it. Jennifer just read that this was due on the 20th of August. I have worked with Dave DeRocher and contacted Franklin County, and they know we're meeting tonight, and they will accept ours tonight, even though it's past the due date, just so everybody knows. There's no further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous on the ayes, so we'll just sign it, and we'll move on from there. I just didn't want somebody to say, you know, you say it's the 20th, and here's the 28th.
Big deal.
No, yeah. And I have the email if you want to see it, that approves us going over.
Well, it's beneficial to them.
Right, but I mean, I just want to be clear to all the people out there. Kathy, you've got room for 5 signatures on this?
It's not, it's
Oh.
from them.
Boards have 5.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's not ours.
okay.
From them.
It's generic form from them, okay.
We can go to 5 if you want.
I wouldn't mind 5, because I'd like talking to another selectman one-on-one, but unfortunately, we can't do that. And the way we are, could we create a quorum? We could resolve a lot of issues that way.
I agree. Topic for another day.
Kathy, anything else? Nope. Okay. Our Assistant Town Administrator, Ms. Leonard, says that we have nothing else, so I will attain a motion to adjourn unless somebody else has anything they want to discuss.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Any more discussion on adjournment? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are